Hey guys, I wanted to shoot a video because, well, I own a Prius and something fairly unusual has just happened. I thought it might be of use to people out there who probably want a Tesla 3 now that all the excitement's been created, but for financial reasons, not going to get there for quite a while. Let me explain what I'm on about. I bought this Prius Gen2, it's 2007 Prius, so the second edition, with exactly 110,000 kilometres on the clock. And it's just rolled over to 160,000 kilometres. It's dusty and I really don't treat it very well because I do a lot of miles. It's our second car. And I've just regened up a nice big fat green battery coming down the hill. But this car, love it to death because over the last 373 k's, say, I've only used 5 litres per 100 kilometres. So I purchased this car for 10,000 Australian dollars. Which is pretty good value at the time, and they still go for around that much. And at the time, it was due for a service at 120,000 kilometres. Now, I've skipped all of that. I've put 7 litres of oil in this car. It has coolant rated for 150,000 kilometres as well in it when I bought it. So I've actually spent nothing on servicing apart from 7 litres of my own oil. I'll dump that out soon, swap that over. But all I've done is top that up. So I took my $10,000 and I did something unusual. Interest rates are really low still here in Australia, a bit under 4%. So I pay $50 a week on this thing and I kept my $10,000. And well, everybody's got a different opinion of the share market, but I chucked that on a share that's done pretty well. And let's say I've pretty much doubled my money in the last 18 months that I've had this car. So that's more than covered the cost of the loan. And if you said over the last 50,000 kilometres in the 18 months, I've saved, let's say, an average of 5 litres per 100 kilometres. And petrol stayed reasonably flat. In fact, it's come down a little bit. Let's say $1.25 Australian. So that's $3,250 I've saved myself on fuel, and probably 4 services at 10,000 kilometre intervals at $500 each. Well, look out, there goes another one. So let's say it's a decent chunk of 5 grand I've saved over the last 18 months towards a loan over the life of $10,000 that was going to cost me around at 4%, I think from memory around $1,300. So I've basically got myself a free car in today's terms, and interest rates are still low thanks to a lot of different global events. So this might be useful information for someone who's hoping for that Model 3 Tesla. Now it's come out, but needs a bit of money in 2 years' time to catapult their way into a full electric vehicle. But this is a great little hybrid solution. It's not unusual to find these cars in Queensland, where they're popular as taxis, with 600,000 kilometres on the clock still going when you jump in a taxi, say in Brisbane. And because of the fact that the electric motor pretty much takes every takeoff, takes the load off the motor, these motors really don't get much strain. As well as that, they do have a feature where I can manually kick this into electric vehicle mode, and it will let me drive up to 40 kilometres an hour in stealth mode around for a few kilometres around my home, which is pretty good at sneaking in at night. Don't tell my wife. Anyway, hopefully that's useful information. My thoughts on the Prius Gen2 and why it makes for an interesting leapfrog into the world of an electric car without actually having to commit too much. Cheers.